If you're watching this, you need to stop scrolling and stay, because this might change your basketball game. If you play basketball and feel tired, then this is for you. Today, I'm going to cover how fasting can boost stamina, focus, and recovery. Why players struggle in general. They have a lot of junk food culture. They think eating a bag of sweets before game and after game is essential for recovery, and just junk food in general, and they need quick carbs. They always focused on quick carbs, quick energy, fast absorbing, but they're doing it all wrong. Late nights, so they don't get enough sleep in the tank, and they think going to bed and having 4 or 5 hours of sleep is essential when it's actually not. Sugary drinks, too many of them can make you have crashes and destroy you as a player, and no structure in their nutrition. Most players train hard, but they eat dumb. So the question is, fast food or home food? Fasting, I'll explain it in simple terms. You can do it in many different protocols. You can do 12 hours of fasting and have a 12 hours eating window. 14 hours of fasting, have a 10-hour eating window. 16 hours of fasting and have an 8-hour eating window. 18 hours of fasting and have a 6-hour eating window. The one I would recommend for you as a basketball player is start off with maybe a 14-hour fast and a 10-hour eating window if you are a complete beginner to fasting. And then if you aren't a complete beginner to fasting, you're a little bit of an older player, I would recommend 16 to 8. So 16 hours of fasting and an 8-hour eating window. I'm going to speak about the performance benefits of what we can get from fasting, because it's a very niche thing and not many players think about it. Some players don't even eat their breakfast, and that's okay as long as you're timing and getting enough essential nutrition. I'll break it down. The performance benefits of fasting is you can have more end game stamina. You can become much leaner and gain more lean muscle. You can be more explosive and you can have more focus. For example, right now we are in Ramadan times for all the Muslims around the UK. Muslims have it really hard, especially when they're training a sport. So what they can do is time their nutrition better and make sure they're getting essential proteins. They're getting enough protein so they don't lose their lean muscle. They're high in protein. Also, they need to get slow releasing carbs for their last meal, because they won't eat their meal for another 12 to 16 hours. So I recommend something like porridge oats. Dates are really good as well because of the magnesium and potassium. I'll create a roadmap for you. So a sample day. So say, for example, you want to fast. You want to have an eating window from 12 till 8 o'clock at night. Before that, if you did the 16 to 8, then you would fast and shut your eating window off at 8 o'clock. So 8 o'clock at night, you have your last meal, and I would recommend you eat some slow releasing carbs. So porridge oats are really good. You can put a scoop of protein in that, or you can eat that with yogurt. A banana is always good to have with that. If you want it a little bit sweeter, you can sweeten it with honey, or you can sweeten it with a little bit of sweetener sugar. You can get protein oats now, and I highly recommend them. So you can get them really cheap in Aldi or Lidl, if you have them supermarkets available. And there's something like £1.80, £2, something like that for a pack of protein oats. It depends, the milk that you use, it depends on kind of what your goals are. So if you're lactose intolerant, I wouldn't recommend you to use normal milk. I'd recommend you to use a lactose-free milk or a plant alternative like an almond milk or something like that. And if you kind of looking to lose weight, I recommend you try semi-skimmed or skimmed milk as well. But if you're trying to gain weight, then I'd recommend you use whole milk because it's got more fat in and it would fit with your goals if you're trying to gain weight and gain lean muscle. So put milk in your protein, mix it up, add a banana in there. If you've got whey protein, then you can add a scoop of whey protein. And then if you want, you can put some dried fruit in there, some honey, anything to sweeten it really. Just try and stay away from the sugar. A little bit of sugar is okay. but you don't want to have too much because sugar can actually weaken your bones and joints and ligaments and cause injuries if you have too much sugar in your diet. And it also gives you a mega crash as well, so it won't sustain you as much as other sweeteners will do. There are some natural sweeteners that you can get, like stevia, and there is also other natural sweeteners like you can get, like honey is a natural sweetener as well, even though it's high in sugar, but it is a natural sweetener full of antioxidants. Okay. Hydration is important. So when you are fasting, if you're doing what we call a wet fast, then you want to get electrolytes and you want to opt for like black coffee or tea with no sugar. You can have a little bit of sweetener in, and that will sustain you throughout the day, and coffee fills you up. It is a cheat code. If you don't like coffee, then opt for tea. Because if you do opt for coffee or tea, then that will keep you fuller for longer. You can also opt for sparkling water. That will keep you fuller for longer as well, until your fasting window opens. The next one is recovery and sleep. So the benefits really are recovery and sleep increase your growth hormone alongside the fasting. So your growth hormone does increase when you do adopt a fasting protocol, which means for you guys, your recovery will increase, because the more growth hormone you have, the more it increases your recovery. So fasting will help you recover quicker as a basketball player. Inflammation, it will help recover your inflammation, and it will help you sleep better as well and have a deeper sleep, which means it's very, very beneficial to do as a basketball player. In terms of muscle, most players think that when you fast, you lose muscle, but you don't, because you increase your growth hormone, which helps you to retain your lean muscle. Also, it's about your protein timing as well. So if you make sure your protein's high in your first meal, your second meal, and your third meal, then you will not lose muscle when you are fasting. In fact, you might gain some muscle because of the recovery. Lifting. So lifting, I would say when you're fasting, if you're getting the essential nutrients, if you don't eat, you get tired easily. It's about nutritional timing. So there's many players who play with a fasting routine and find it's actually better for them if they get the correct nutrition in their eating window. So a lot of people are always recommending, don't fast because you need optimal energy before games, this and that, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of not true, because if you put your fasting window around your games and you have the optimal nutrition pre-game and post-game, then you can get enough nutrients to be able to actually have more energy than you would do just generally on a normal eating schedule. It's actually a cheat code to optimize your energy rather than lower your energy.